When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Absolutely, unequivocally, yes is the answer. Now, here is the host of The Long Bearded Guy, the Chief Catalyst, Strategist Guide at Jewel International, Gordon D Melville.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to The Long Bearded Guy with Gordon D Melville. Welcome to Red Fridays, red shirt, RED. Remember, everyone deployed. We gotta honor the people that are willing to stand on the wall for us. So I want to touch today. We're going to talk about blessed to have choices. Are we courageous enough to make the choices? And this is the last episode of season 1 for me, so I'm all excited about that. Season 1, 52 episodes. This will be the 52nd episode. I'm all excited about that. Absolutely amazing. And it's going to be a great show. So we want to talk about, I just want to touch on one thing real quick here. Welcome to everybody, by the way. If you're watching, please jump in and say hi. If you're watching us live stream, welcome on YouTube, welcome on Facebook, welcome on InspiredChoicesNetwork.tv. Welcome, jump in. If you happen to be on our free app, you can download it for free on any place you watch and look for your podcast or TV or radio or any iHeartRadio, anywhere you watch. Google TV, Apple TV, anywhere you watch, you can download for free, and then you can get in. And if you get into the chat room, my producer will give you a link to jump into my live studio audience if you want to do that. And thank you so much for being here. I know there's people listening from literally all over the world. I know people are at work. I've got my mug. I've got what is this, lemon echinacea tea this afternoon for my throat. But I wanted to touch just real quick. I appreciate your being here. So I want you to know, if you've heard me before, great. If you haven't, great. Welcome. But who you're talking to, or who you're listening to anyway. I'm a champion mindset mentor, and we can discuss what that's about. My mission is to change the lives of 10 million men by raising their EQ, by raising their emotional quotient. Because if they can do that, if we can have them do that, everything gets better. Everything gets better. The relationships get better. Their life gets better. They become a better husband, better father, better dad, better employee, better brother or uncle. They just get better all the way around. And it makes us able to help other people as well. I'm the founder and CEO at Jewel International. I'm an executive producer, host of a nationally syndicated radio show, podcast, and TV show, The Long Bearded Guy, which you're watching and listening to now. Congratulations. Mindset and energy coach for a pro basketball team. I'm my avatar are entrepreneurial men and pro athletes. And so then the next thing is, since last week, since we got together a week ago, a bunch of stuff has happened. A bunch of wonderful things have happened. And I think it goes to the heart of what we're talking about in terms of having a choice. Are we courageous enough or willing to make the choice? Because we have unlimited choices available to us. Literally unlimited. Legal, not legal, moral, not moral. We can make whatever choice we want. The consequences of those choices is pretty much 100% not negotiable, but on both sides, in a positive way and in a negative way, right? For positive things as well as for things that aren't so positive. So things that have happened since last week, since my last show, I won an award. It's here. If you can see that, this award right here. I won that award and went #1 international bestseller again for this book, your relationship roadmap. It went #1 on Amazon on the day it launched. Incredible. So that's an honor, distinct honor, to win an award and to go #1. Huge for me. My first involvement with the pro basketball team, we had some stuff happening yesterday. It was wonderful. It was so cool to be able to be in that space. I made arrangements this week to be accepted to be a judge for an international speaking competition in mid-September. I secured my flight to be a keynote speaker for a men's weekend in Atlanta at the end of September for 3 to 500. And today is the last episode of my season 1. So many good things, but a lot of those things don't happen if they were choices. Do you want to come and be a judge? Do you want to be the keynote speaker? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to? And there's a bunch of books coming. I've got an ebook coming. There's three physical books coming. Before the end of the year, there'll be 3 more books. So all these things are happening. They're choices that I've made. They're choices that I've said, you know what, I want to take advantage of that. And so I step into that. So many times we want to and we don't do it, right? By the way, if you don't have your journal out, you're going to want your journal out. If you don't have something to write with, get a journal and or a pad of paper or something to write on. You got 30 seconds to figure that out. And as we get going here, please, by the way, when you find us on Inspired Choices Network, anywhere you see it, please like it, love it, share it, subscribe. Doesn't cost anything to do that. That helps with our algorithms on all the different platforms, and it helps pay for the show. So thank you for doing that. If you haven't connected, that's the whole point, right? We've got huge, massive reach, but we want engagement. I want to be able to engage with you. I want to be able to have conversation and dialogue. I want you to ask questions. If you think I'm full of shit, tell me. Gord, I think you're full of poop. That's not right. Or you know what? Hey, I think it's like this. Can we discuss that? Because we can. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. I can handle the challenge. I can absolutely handle that. So please do that. Excited to have you find us on Apple TV, Google TV. Absolutely wonderful to have that access to those subscription services. If you know a man, if you are a man, if you know a man, if you know an entrepreneurial man or a pro athlete, please share this with them. Please share this with them. And I have no problem begging if I have to. The mission is big enough. The mission is such that it's important enough. I'll beg. I have no problem with that. We have to get out there. People need to know they can make choice. People need to know they can step out and without judgment, talk about their feelings, talk about their emotion, talk about what's going on, talk about their struggles. Make the choice to do that. Do we really have a choice? You hear lots of people say, oh, I have no choice. I'm like, no, what I just heard was, I don't like the options that I have. I don't like the alternatives that I have to. It's not that you don't have choice. You always have the choice. I'm going to say that again. You always have a choice. Whether you want to take advantage of that or not is entirely up to you. But it takes courage. It takes bravery to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to make that choice. I'm going to step out and make that choice, because we absolutely have that choice. And you know what? Humans were the only living thing that was gifted the ability to make the choice. We're blessed to have the choice. We're blessed to have that choice. No other living thing. If I plant an acorn and that acorn pops out of the ground, little itty bitty, right? And it looks around and sees a willow tree. Oh, I love that willow tree. When I grow up, I'm going to be a willow tree. Does it have that latitude? No, it does not. It's going to be an oak tree. It was an acorn. I was on a virtual coffee with a lady that had just bought a golden lab. Adorable. It was cuteness overload. Unbelievable. And she's petting it while we were on the call together. And it was like, oh my, it's just amazing. But I said to her, if that golden lab, she takes it to a dog park and it sees a full-grown German Shepherd and goes, oh, it's beautiful. Look at him. Look at him. When I grow up, I'm going to be a German Shepherd. Does he have that latitude? No, he doesn't. He's going to grow up and be a golden lab. He can't change who he is. They can't. Humans are the only living thing that was gifted the ability to reinvent ourselves every day if we want to. Every half day if we want to. Every moment of every day. The point is, we can choose to do that. Most people abdicate that power. Most people go, nope, it is what it is. Can't do it. This is what's in my stars. This is the cards I was dealt. I got to deal with it. That's crap. It's crap. We can absolutely step out and be whatever it is we want to be. Like it or not, and agree with it or not, doesn't change what is, by the way. We are all exactly where we are supposed to be based on the choices we've made, good, bad, or otherwise. We are where we are because of our own choices, because of the decisions we've made, the good ones, the bad ones, the not so good ones, the ones that were wrong, the ones that were right. We are exactly people. Oh, Gordon, no, I had, it was an X. It messed it. My parents, my boss. I have a horrible boss. Well, then change it. Why can't I've got bills? That's weak. Come on. You can choose. We're blessed to have the choice, but do you have the guts to make the choice? That's the $10 million question. Do you have the guts to make the choice? Do you have the guts to bank on you or to bet on you? You're asking an employer to do that. You're asking them to bet on you. Will you bet on you? Will you make a choice that may not be popular, that's going to set you outside everybody else and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to stand in my empowerment. I'm going to stand in who I really am and who I'm supposed to be, and just let the chips fall where they may. Let the chips fall where they may. I don't care. I am going to stand in and be authentically me. I'm going to choose to be authentically me. And if people like that, great. If they don't like that, that's great too. I don't have any problem with that. Perfect. I have no problem with that. But that's a choice I'm making, because nobody else's opinion matters. I don't need validation from anybody. I don't need approval from anybody, and neither do you. But you have to choose to be courageous and make the choice, and then own whatever the consequences are. And consequences can be good or not so good. The good, you have to take the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's life. That's life. It really is. I stopped saying to people ages ago, have a nice day. And it's not that I don't want them to have a nice day. It's not that I don't want their day to be wonderful. What I want is for them to understand that they have the power to make their day whatever they want it to be. Choose to make the day whatever you want it to be. Choose to do that. So I say, make it another great day. I'm trying to empower them. It doesn't matter what the rest of your day's been. You can choose to make the rest of it whatever you want it to be. You want it to be good? Great. The rest of it's been in the toilet, doesn't matter. It's gone. The future is what we've got. The present is really the only, so they say, yesterday is a canceled check. Tomorrow's a promissory note. Today is the only cash you have, so spend it wisely. And I get to fine tune that a little bit. Right this second is the only time you have, so spend it wisely. Right now is the only money you have, currency. Right this second. You're not promised later. Choose to live in the moment. Choose to be right here, right now. Absolutely, absolutely have the courage to step into your own empowerment. Choose to do that. Choose to do it. I need to take a quick break. I want to do a quick shout out to Jose Escobar, the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. Check out the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf to learn more about his morning and evening mastery routine program that is changing people's lives. This program will help you install systems on the bookends of your day to maximize your morning and evening routine. Set up your free strategy session today with Jose Escobar, and you can reach him at theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. That's theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. Great program, and it is absolutely changing lives. As we go to break here, don't forget to pause and breathe. Two inhales through your nose, hold it for 10 beats. So 2 beats in, hold it for 10, and then exhale as hard as you can for 4. Let it out. Inhale for 2, all the good stuff, the peace and abundance and glorious stuff that we want for our day. Inhale the positive and hold on to that for 10 beats. And then exhale all the crap out of you. Exhale as hard as you can. Make sound out of your mouth. Blow it out as hard as you can. Push out all the negative. Push out all the bad stuff. Push out all the lack thinking that we have inside of us. It'll help ground you. It'll help focus. It'll make you more alert. As we go to this break, don't forget to pause and breathe. You're with the long bearded guy. That's Gordon D Melville. That's me on Inspired Choices Network. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D. Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also send an email to the longbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for being with us. You're with the long-bearded guy. We're talking about blessed to have choices. Are we courageous enough to make them? Are we courageous enough to make the choice? We have unlimited choices, literally unlimited. Legal, not legal, moral, not moral. We have unlimited choices. The consequences of those choices is pretty much 100% not negotiable. If I'm speeding, I may or may not get caught. I'm breaking the law, right? I'm breaking the man's law. I may or may not get caught. But Papa's laws, it's not a matter of if I get caught. It's a matter of when does the consequence come. The consequence, we can't get away from that. Positive or negative, right? We do something on a positive side, on a good way. We make choices on a good, healthy way. We're going to end up in a positive thing where the consequences are going to be good. That's great. That's great. That's what we want. That's what you want more often than not. But we have to take the consequence. We have to be able to stand up and be adult and go, you know what, I'm going to own it, because I'm not going to be a victim. Are you being a victim? You're putting yourself in victim stance because you're like, you know what, it was because of them or because of them or because of him or because of that or because. Don't do that. Own it, whether it's on you or not. Did you choose to be there? Did you choose to be in that relationship? Did you choose to be in that job? Did you choose to go to that place? Did you choose to put yourself in that position? We do. That's on us. That's not on somebody else. Own it. We need to step up and own our crap, own our decisions, own our choices, the good ones and the bad ones. Don't put it off on somebody else. We do have the ability. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. We hold the power to make the choice. One of the only things we can. It's one of the only things we can connect, to have that choice. What we think and what we do are the only things we can control. We can influence other things, but at the end of the day, we want to be able to control it all, and we just can't. You've heard me say it before. If you have pets or children, you know very quickly control is an illusion, right? Yeah, everything looks planned. Okay, yeah. You know, you hear people say, well, you know, we make plans and Papa laughs. It may or may not work. It doesn't mean we don't make the plan, by the way. I'm not advocating that we just sort of willy-nilly just fly by the seat. That's not what I'm saying. It doesn't mean we don't make plans. But we can't hold them like this with a closed hand. With a closed hand, you hold them with your hand open. Because as soon as you do this with anything, it doesn't matter what it is. Plans, people, jobs, careers, situations. If we hold it with a closed hand, this is mine. If I hold it with a closed fist, I up the ante hundreds and hundreds of percent that I'm going to lose it because I'm holding on too tight. If I can hold it with an open hand and just let it freely figure itself out, things will choose to stay in my hand. Right? Things will stay right here, and I'm owning 100% of it. I'm choosing to hold my hand open. We hold the power. We can choose to have abundance thinking, or we can choose to have lack thinking. It's a choice we make. I have a friend that said to me one time, not that long ago, Gord, that manifestation stuff, it's crap. It doesn't work. And I'm like, really? So we had a little bit of a conversation about that. I said, what are you trying to attract? He said, oh, I'm trying to attract good things and finances and people to support me and all these good things. I'm like, okay, so what's happening? Well, all I'm getting is not enough and negative. And I'm like, okay, so let's look at that for a second. Are you an abundance thinking person, or are you a lack thinking person? Are you a, hey, there's lots, or a glass half empty, there's not enough, I never have enough? And we had some conversation around that, and I asked him some very specific pointed questions, and he came to the conclusion on his own. I think I'm a lack type person, a lack type thinking. I'm like, okay, are you a positive or a negative? Generally, because we all have positive, negative thoughts, right? But overall, are you a positive thinking person or a negative thinking person? And we had some conversation around that, and I asked him some pointed questions, and he said, you know what, I think I have a slant for a negative side. And I said, so what you're telling me is that you're a negative thinking, lack believing human being. And he said, yes. And I said, great, then manifestation is working exactly the way it's supposed to work. What you're putting out, you're getting back. And he looks at me and he says, okay, so what you're telling me is that if I have a positive outlook, overall, a positive overlook, and an abundance mindset, my life will get better. I said, yes, but don't do it for 2 days or 3 days or a month. Do it for a year. Do it for 5 years. And then come back and tell me where your life is. It's like trying to release weight. It didn't come on in 2 days. So to look in the mirror after 48 hours and go, well, I've been eating clean. I went to the gym both days. You know, I exercised. I'm looking after myself, and I haven't lost anything. I haven't released anything. This is unreasonable. So it didn't come on in 2 days. How the heck do you expect it to leave in 2 days? That doesn't make any sense. It's that consistent, persistent, doing the right thing, doing the right thing, doing the right thing, doing the right thing, day after day after day after day, whether people are watching or not. And I two things on that. There's more people watching you than you think. And if you have children, they're absolutely paying attention to what you're doing. Not so much what you're saying always, but they are paying attention to what you're doing. There's a book that Darren Hardy wrote. It's right here someplace, right here. The Compound Effect. The whole concept of that book wraps around this concept. And if you say, if I ask somebody, hey, I'm gonna employ you for the next 30 days. Do you want me to give you $2 million up front to cover you for the month? Or do you want me to give you and pay you a penny a day and just double it every day? Which would you prefer? And most people get head faked with the 2 million and go, oh, I'll take the 2 million. Why? Because they're going, well, a penny a day, that's nothing. Even if you double it, that's nothing. It's not the first 20 days plus. because I think by day 18, it's only like $5.80. And we look at it and go, I'm putting all the effort in, but I'm not getting anywhere. I'm putting all the effort in. I'm not getting the result I'm looking for. And what we don't realize is we just keep pushing. It keeps compounding. The last 4 or 5 days of the month gets you to more than 4 million. Compound effect, compounding. Doing it day after day after day after day after day, without accolade, without anybody noticing, we were just talking about this with the producer before the show. Kobe, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of practice of mundane, boring shit, so that in a game he can be the prolific player he was. That didn't happen by accident. He did the right thing for the right reason, consistently, persistently over his whole life. That's what it takes. You want to get to, you can choose to be exactly where you want to be, but you have to put in the work. Rocky said you have to be willing to take the hits. It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. You're choosing to keep moving forward. You're choosing to get up once more than you get knocked down. That takes character. It takes guts. It takes courage to do that. You have the courage to make, you have them. You've been blessed with the choice, with the ability to choose. Are you courageous enough to make those choices? So many people aren't. They say the graveyard is the most expensive real estate there is. Why? Because a lot of people took their ideas and their books and their businesses and all the wonderful ideas they had to the grave with them without ever achieving it, without ever even trying. Tragic. By the time you get to your deathbed, you don't want to look back and have regret. You don't want to look back and say, well, I wish I had chosen to. A lot of times when people get to that stage of their life, they don't regret what they did. They regret what they didn't do. I wish I'd have. That's heavy regret. That'll kill you. It'll bury you. The pain of discipline, much easier. The pain of being able to make the choice to do the right thing, even when no one's watching, much easier. Is it hard? Yes, it's not easy, or everybody would do it. It's simple, but it's not easy. We need to have abundance, positive thinking. That's where our mindset needs to be. We need to choose to have that. We can choose to have that, but we have to make the choice. We have the power to make the choice. Can you make the choice? Do you want to make the choice? Are the benefits big enough? Sometimes we don't do as humans. Until it gets to a dire space, we don't. Until the pain is enough. I have I know lots of people, but my one relative, big Maple Leafs fan, big Leafs fan. And I'm so upset. I'm so pissed off that they haven't won. I'm so pissed off that my team's not doing what they should be doing. And I'm like, did you buy season tickets again? Oh yeah. Did you buy Maple Leaf gear? Yep. Great. Then the pain isn't big enough yet. Because when the pain's big enough, eventually you'll go, you know what? Kiss my butt. I'm not doing it. We want to release weight. We know we need to release weight. We know we do. To be healthy, we know we do. But we like our Big Macs. We like our fast food. Or we like our beer. We like whatever it is. We don't want to be exercising. We don't want it. We don't want a discipline of all that. Until the doctor says, hey, Gord, if you don't lose a bunch of weight, you're going to die. If you don't release a bunch of weight, you're going to die. And all of a sudden the pain gets enough, and then I make a choice. Then I make the hard choice. But now it's even harder because now I've got all this baggage to carry around. I've got all this stuff. be courageous enough to make the choice, the right choice, consistently, persistently, day after day after day after day after day. If you can make the hard choices and do the hard things, your life will be easy. But if you take the easy path, your life will be hard. That's just the reality of it. We've been blessed with the ability to make the choice. Do you have the guts and the courage to make the choice? Don't stay where you are. Jim Rohn used to say, hey, if you don't like where you are, move. You're not a tree, right? You don't have roots right there. Just move. Anyway, we need to take another quick break. Again, our shout out to Jose Escobar, the founder and CEO of the Entrepreneur's Bookshelf. Check out the Connected Leaders Academy membership to take your business to the next level, and probably multiple levels. This is the perfect tribe to learn, grow, and connect like never before. The Connected Leaders Academy tribe brings together some of the highest level entrepreneurs from all over the world. Set up a virtual coffee with Jose Escobar today, and you can reach him at theentrepreneursbookshelf.com. Make sure you reach out to him. That's an amazing, amazing, amazing group. I'm part of it myself. I'm on the executive for it. The young lady that owns the network, she's a part of that network, a part of that Connected Leaders Academy as well. As we go to break here real quick, don't forget to pause and breathe. Ground yourself. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have some amazing, amazing things in the third segment. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. See you in a minute.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
The Connected Leaders Academy is the #1 fastest growing networking community for entrepreneurs. CLA assembles high-level leaders, titans of industry, and business owners under one roof. If you're an entrepreneur looking to grow personally, professionally, scale your influence, develop skills, and expand your network exponentially, the CLA is where you need to be. Want on to more podcasts and shows, speak on more stages, sell more books, products, and services, get more leads, referrals, acquire new clients, develop lifelong friendships, and more. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. Contact Jose Escobar on Facebook or check out www.claglobalsummit.com for more information.
This is the long-bearded guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Thank you for sticking with me. Very, very happy to have you here today. We're talking about blessed to have choices. Are we courageous enough to make the choice? And we've talked about a bunch of things already. In this quick segment, I want to just touch on, I was trying to find some other people because I know what they thought, because I know there's a lot of people that have said lots of things about choice. So there's just a few things on here I want to read them so I don't mess them up because they're actual quotes. And the truth is that we're all lucky to have the choice. We're all blessed to have the choice. We just have to be brave enough to make those choices. So be miserable or motivate yourself. Whatever has to be done, it's always your choice. That's Dr. Wayne Dyer. He knew a thing or two about life and choice. There are two primary choices in life: to accept conditions as they exist or to accept the responsibility for changing them. Dennis Waitley. Destiny is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of choice. It's not chance. It's choice. It is not a thing to be waited for. It is a thing to be achieved. William Jennings Bryan said that. I used this next one in my copy for my ad. When you make a choice, you change the future. Deepak Chopra said that. When people, what people have the capacity to choose, they have the ability to change. Madeleine Albright. Capacity to choose, they have the ability to change. Everything, we can change anything we want. The Motivation Manifesto from Brandon Bouchard says, nothing in life, including our circumstances or potential, is fixed. Reality is bendable to our will. Nothing in life, including our circumstances or potential, is fixed. Reality is bendable to our will. Choices may be unbelievably hard, but they're never impossible. To say we have no choice is to release yourself from responsibility, and that's not how a person with integrity acts. Patricia Ness. Choices may be unbelievably hard, but they're never impossible. To say you have no choice is to release yourself from responsibility, and that's not how a person with integrity acts. The spirit of a man is constructed out of his choices. Irvin D. Yalom. The spirit of a man or woman, the spirit of a person is constructed out of their choices. Wow. We own it. We own it. We own the choice. We own the consequence of the choice. We own where we are right this minute, whether we accept that, acknowledge that or not. It doesn't change what is. If you limit your choice only to what seems possible or reasonable, you disconnect yourself from what you truly want, and all that is left is a compromise. Robert Fritz. If you limit your choice to only what seems possible or reasonable, you disconnect yourself from what you truly want, and all that is left is the compromise. And you've heard me say before, it's not about compromise. Even in a relationship, it's not about compromise. We always hear that, got to compromise, got to compromise. No. It's not about compromise. In compromise, 2 + 2 is 3, because neither one of us got what we wanted. It's about cooperating. If we can cooperate in a relationship, if we can cooperate, then 2 + 2 could be 5, because everybody can get a little more. There are 2 paths of which one may choose in the walk of life. There are 2 paths of which one may choose in the walk of life. One we are born with, and the one we consciously blaze. One is naturally true, while the other is a perceptive illusion. Choose wisely at each fork in the road. That's T.F. Hodge. There are 2 paths of which one may choose to walk in life. One we're born with, that's what's in the stars, is what's in my cards, right? The one we consciously blaze. That's the choices we make. That's the ones where we step out and actually make the choice. One is naturally true, the one we're born with, naturally true, while the other is a perceptive illusion. Choose wisely at each fork in the road. There's so much wrapped around choice. There's so much wrapped around choosing to do the right thing. Wrapped around choosing. Here's a couple of just real quick things. Habits to make better choices. How do we make better choices? How do we step into that? I've got a whole bunch of them. And if you want, send me an email at thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com, and I'll have your email then. I will send you 12 habits to make better choices, a PDF of that. 12 ways to make 12 things you can turn into habits to make better choices. Email me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com, and I'll shoot that off to you. But a couple I want to point out right here. 3 quick habits to make better choices. That'll help us make better choices, things we can use to make better decisions. Take note of your overconfidence is number 1. Take note of your overconfidence. Make sure you're aware, hey, you know what? Confidence is fine. Rate confidence. Healthy confidence is great. That's great. You need to have that. Overconfidence, where you think that's going to impede you, because you're not going to pay attention to the risk return. You're not going to pay attention to the faults that may flop into the middle of that. You're not going to be aware. You're not going to, because you're overconfident, you're not taking into consideration some of the things that are going to cause you challenges. Set time aside for internal personal reflection. We have to pay attention to ourselves. We have to understand, hey, these are our strengths, these are our weaknesses. But if we do that as a habit, we'll make better choices because we'll know more about ourselves. Matter of fact, there are some ways to know that. There's some assessments you can take. If you want to know what they are, reach out to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. That will help you understand who you are. When I say to people, instead of saying, how are you? I say, who you be. And we both kind of laugh and they're like, Gord, that grammar's bath, brother. I'm like, I know. But if I say, who are you being? It doesn't have the same impact. I'm trying to rope-a-dope, right? I'm trying to get them to, I'm interrupting the thought pattern. Who you be. And they think about it for a second, who am I being? Who am I? Most people can't answer that question. Not off the top of their head, not without thinking about it, not without spending some time on internal personal reflection. Most people don't know who they're being. They know who the character is they're portraying. They know what they do for a living, but that's not who you are. It's not who you are. The third one is to acknowledge your shortcuts. And this gets into some psychological stuff in terms of mental heroitis. It's our own shortcuts. Sometimes we set processes up in our mind to be able to make choices quicker, right? We sort of have a checklist of things. Hey, if it fits inside this or doesn't fit inside this, makes it easier for me to make decisions. You see very, very wealthy people do that a lot. It's a very healthy thing to do, to have a checklist of things. Hey, if it falls inside of this, great. If it doesn't fall inside of this, great. It makes it much, much easier. But you need to be aware of what those shortcuts are, because you might be eliminating possibilities that you hadn't thought of. You might be eliminating and stopping things from happening that could be good things, or allowing you to be more well-rounded in the way you make your choice. So be aware, acknowledge and be aware of your shortcuts. I hope that helps. We need to take another quick break. And as we're going to break here, if any of this, like I say it every week, if any of this resonates with you, if you're getting something from this, or it's making sense to you, or it's awakening stuff inside of you, or you're hearing stuff, you go, wow, you know what? I've never heard that before, but I feel like it's something I already know. What that's telling you is it's truth inside of you. What it's telling you, it's awakening truth inside of you. And if that's the case, if you know men that need to hear this, women too, but if you know somebody that needs to hear this, please share it. Share it with somebody. If everybody that's listening and paying attention and watching and plugging into this shares it with one or two people, compound effect, right? We start to get exponential, even more engagement. And that's what I'm looking for. If you need one-on-one help, reach out to me. If you want to be part of a cohort, I've got something called Boxed Inside Out for men. Sorry, ladies, it's teaching tools and strategies to be able to deal with the regular emotion we feel every day but don't know what to do with. We're teaching tools, and we need to do it when we're healthy, because when we're not healthy or when we're struggling, it's very hard. It's like buying insurance. You got to do it when you're healthy, because when you're not healthy, you don't qualify anymore. We need to be able to put those tools in our tool belt and in our toolbox so that we know what's going on, so that we can help ourselves and help other people around us. If we reach for the tool and it's not there, and nobody has the market cornered on 100% of the tools. I have coaches. I still am putting tools in my tool belt to be able to deal with stuff. Why? Because if I only have 3 ways to deal with stuff and I run into neither one of them work, or 3 of them don't work, I need a way to be able to plug in and do it again. I need a way to plug in and go, hey, you know what? Hey, how do I get this to work? I need some more tools, some more strategies to get through this. So plug into me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Whether it's one-on-one, it's group, you want me to come and speak to your group or to your church or to your kids or to whatever it is, reach out. I'm here to help. I'm here to engage. That's where my heart is. I'm here to help. Plug into that. You can hire me to do lots of things. I want to be able to be there for you. We need to take another quick break. Time goes so fast. And you know what? And that's life. My parents used to tell me, Gord, it's going to go faster. And I didn't think that was possible. But it is. And it is going faster. Ridiculously quick. Are you taking advantage of that time? Are you courageous enough to capitalize on the choices you've been blessed to have? Don't go anywhere. As soon as we come back, we're going to wrap real quick, but we're going to have a call to action. It's another cool one today. So don't go anywhere. You're with the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville, on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back. Don't forget to pause and breathe.
How much of our daily success relies on our mindset? Anything we are unaware of can still impact our lives. When dealing with our daily emotions that we all face, there can be positive outcomes we control. Why is the word stigma such a BS misnomer? Is living abundantly really possible for all of us, no matter where we find ourselves today? Join the long-bearded guy, Gordon D Melville. The Chief Catalyst Strategist Guide at Jewel International invites you to an enlightening, sometimes shocking discussion. He will be challenging you to explore your own answers to these questions and so many more. This will lead you towards living an abundant, successful life no matter how you define it. Gordon D. Melville is live Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Long-Bearded Guy with Gordon D. Melville. To participate in the program, join the live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also send an email to thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Now back to the program.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Welcome back. We're talking about blessed to have choices. Are you courageous enough to make those choices? Some people are, some people are not. Lots of people are not. Some of that's awareness, by the way. I want to point that out. I was looking through some of that's awareness. Some of that's that we're not aware that we have the choice. Sometimes we're not aware there's options. We need to get that message out. There are options, everybody. There are options. Choose something different. There are options. You have options. Look through your options. And if you don't see more than the one you don't like, explore it a little bit. Where there's a will, there's a way. Yes? Yes. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you want to bad enough, you'll find a way to get it done. If you want to bad enough, you'll find options. So you have the choice. We have been blessed with the choice. The call to action today is, what is the choice or what is a choice or decision that you've been putting off, that you haven't made? What's a choice or decision that you just haven't stepped into yet? You've been waiting on that move. You've been waiting on the career change. You've been waiting on whether or not to have children. You've been waiting on whether to get married or not, whether to date, whether to take vacation, no matter what it is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be some great, big, huge, massive big thing. What's something that you haven't made a choice or decision about? Courageously make it. Courageously step out and make it. Write it down in your journal, and then execute on it. Don't just write it down. Don't just have the good intention. Actually do something with it. Do something with it. The difference between successful and not successful is just doing it, is execution. And as long as that execution and doing is an extension of who you're being, you can't fail. There's no way to fail. There's no way for it not to come to fruition. But you have to do something with it. You can't go anywhere until you start. They say the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. You got to begin. You got to start. You got to actually do something. Make the decision. If you got something you've been waiting to do, make the choice and move. Make the choice, make the decision, write it down in your journal. It makes it real. Tell somebody. That'll help you keep you accountable. You don't have anybody to talk to? thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. Send it to me. I'll hold you accountable. But then do something with it. Immediately do something with it. Don't just go, hey, I'll start this on Monday. I'll start this on the weekend. I'll start this next week. I'll start next month. I'll start. No. Yes. Do it right now. Make the decision. Write it down. Choose to get it done and then go. Choose to do it and then move forward. Execute on it. Step into your own empowerment. Don't be afraid of that. Step into your own empowerment. I believe in you. Yes, you can. I say it all the time. Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. And if you don't believe in yourself, take my belief in you. You can use mine until you get your own. You are enough just the way you are. You're loved just the way you are. If you haven't heard that yet today, I'm telling you, I love you. And that's not, I want you love. That's not romantic. It's basic agape human love. It's basic. Hey, you know what? You're a human. I'm a human. We're the same. We're the same. We're all part of that collective. I'm here to support you however I can. I'm not here to enable. I'll support you and I'll encourage you, pat you on the back, but then I'm going to kick you in the side of the head and go, look, move. We need to go from mediocre to magnificent. I'm here to help you go from if you're happy being average and mediocre, that's fine. You're probably not listening anymore if that's who you are, though. If that's really who you are, you're probably not listening anymore. But if you want to go from mediocre to magnificent, if you want to go from also ran to spectacular, you need to do something different. That's why I change it from high performance coach to champion mindset mentor. Why? Pro athletes, there's lots of them that are drafted. There's lots of them that are in the pro ranks. Skilled elite athletes, high performance people, but they're not all champion. There's a difference. There's a difference between high performance and champion. If you don't know what that is or you're not sure what that's about, reach out to me, thelongbeardedguy@gmail.com. I can help you work through that. All right. Thank you so much. So next week, unbelievable, August 4th already. August already. Beginning of the last month of the summer. Oh, it's just so sad. So sad. Summer's almost over. I shouldn't say it that way. It's half over. We still have lots of it to come. So we'll look forward to that. We'll anticipate that. Next episode, next week's title. So start of season 2 for me. Yay! Season 2. They said it wouldn't last. Season 2. Choose to change your lens and change your world. Choose to change your lens, how you look at stuff, and that will change your world. We'll talk about that next week. This week, be courageous. Be unapologetically you. Make it another great week. I love you. Massive hugs. Live out abundantly and with intention, and we'll see you next week. I love you. Live out abundantly and with intention.
Thank you for tuning into the Long Bearded Guy Show. You are appreciated and loved. Gordon D. Melville returns Fridays at 12 noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on the InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. Until then, make it another great week, leading with love, powerfully designing, crafting, and living out your positively impactful legacy life you were created for. Big hugs.